I don't think I've ever seen Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, well, it plays by your old apartment / my current apartment
right.
every Saturday night, I think.
Really? Have you seen it there?
No, I haven't seen the movie since I was a teenager.
I saw Room, which feels like a similar situation where people like throw stuff at the screen and like cheer along to the movie. The Room.
Oh my God. Room is the Brie Larson, Jacob Tremblay movie. I was like, I wouldn't compare those two movies.
No, not The Room. Or no, not Room, The Room.
The Room.
It's confusing. They're very similar titles.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I mean, the changes everything. The original title of A Chorus Line was just Chorus Line, and then they added to it, so it'll be the first in all the Broadway listings in alphabetical order. Marketing, ladies and gentlemen, and then it won the Pulitzer and ran for 15 years.
All because of that
All because of that
Should we be two gay mats?
We should. Ariana Grande would sing a song about it. She'd be like,
yes.
Two gay mats. Welcome back to another Two Gay Mats podcast. It's Matt Steele.
And it's Matt Palmer.
And it's another week, our final week of whole month 30 for Matt Palmer.
Whole 30 is what it's called.
Whole 30.
Whole 30, yes.
Where did I get whole month?
I don't know. I heard a whole month or
Guys,
a whole week.
I just got back from work. A very stressful day at the restaurant.
Was it stressful?
Yes, because the Super Bowl's coming. So like one of the playoff games or whatever happened. So my brain is scrambled eggs at the moment.
Yes.
You know what? We're making it through. How is your digestive system?
My digestive system is good. We're working through it. It's only, a few days until it's been 30 days for us because we didn't start exactly on January 1st. I think we started on the 3rd or something.
Oh.
So it'll be Wednesday at midnight that we'll be having a glass of champagne.
Oh my God, for the Celebrity Big Brother premiere.
Oh, that's when it premieres?
Wednesday night?
We'll be talking about that cast.
We will.
It's different than what we thought.
It's exactly what I thought it was going to be. Get out of here.
There were a lot of, I felt like, rumors going around that like a Nene, a Tiffany Pollard. It was like,
of course, no. And the rumors were absolutely objective. The second they were posted, I was like, hi, these are fake. Goodbye.
Why? Because they were just like too good?
Yes, and because like there's always like weird spoilers and rumors before every Big Brother season, not even the Celebrity Big Brother seasons, like the regular seasons, and we're all just like, guys,
not real.
Guys, stop sharing these rumors. They're fake. I'm tired of rumors starting.
That's what Lindsay told us back in the day.
I know.
Back in 2004, I want to say.
Sure, why
not?
not?
Let's see, that's right. So wait, how was your week?
My week was very good.
Yes.
I did something I haven't done in over half a decade.
What is that?
I had a steak dinner.
Oh,
yes.
In what situation? I don't see you with a steak often.
So we all know about The Couch. Not the Alanis Morissette song. The thing that is supposed to come to my apartment.
The Couch is great.
Iconic song.
Great song.
The thing that is supposed to come to my apartment on or before February 14th that was supposed to arrive on or before November 1st. So, because I have been waiting for The Couch for very long and my good friend Connor has let me borrow like an older couch that was in his garage and everything. So he like got it to his friend's truck, drove it down, and it's now sitting in my apartment as a placeholder for the real couch that I spent money on.
Of course.
So I told Connor, I was like, I am gonna buy you a steak dinner to pay you for.
Is that something he would like? Is that very?
He is very much a steak gentleman.
All right.
I mean, I picked him up and he had a mohawk that I told him to. Ever since I knew him, I was like, you should get a mohawk, and he's like, no.
How's it look on him?
It looks great. I was
good
so
for
excited.
Connor.
So mohawk people, I feel like tend to be steak people.
Sure. All right. I believe you.
They eat meat, or they're totally vegan. One or the other. But so I was like, so I took Connor to Outback Steakhouse because I wasn't gonna, I was like, listen, girl, it's not gonna be like a fancy steak.
Of course,
dinner.
No. It's as fancy as the couch you let you borrow.
Exactly. Yes. So and he's like, I'm happy with Outback, and also because I wanted a bloomin' onion.
Oh.
So we went to Outback Steakhouse, and then we went back to his place, and I didn't make him watch Tick Tick Boom, but I suggested like, I'd really love to see this again.
You made him.
And he hadn't seen it yet, and his other friend recommended it, so we watched Tick Tick Boom.
How do you like it?
He liked it a lot,
Good.
of course. I mean, I was crying on the couch the whole time, so I really liked it even more the second time.
Wow.
But yeah, so what else did I do? I don't know. I worked. I chilled. I started Survivor, the first All-Star season.
All right. How are you liking it?
It's very good. It's not as good as the first Big Brother All-Star season, but what can you do? But it's still great. We stand Sheehan in this household.
What year is this happening? Like in real life?
2003, I believe it was. I know.
That's so long ago.
I know. I have a long way to go.
Like when I said long ago.
so I'm almost done season 8 of Survivor. I have like over 30 something more to go before I'm all caught up on all the survivors. And that's been my life.
I love that for you.
Steak and Survivor. What about you, Matt Palmer? What have you been doing?
Matt Steele, I'm going to tell you a story.
Oh, Jesus God. This sounds stressful.
I'm going to tell you a story. I've been requested by my partner, boyfriend, Jackson, to be nice in the story.
Okay.
Because you never know what could happen in the future. But, so last time I saw you was when? Wednesday?
Yes.
Wednesday night. I guess I should start earlier. Okay. When we moved in, I would say we were here for about a week.
Okay.
An upstairs neighbor who we'll call Grandpa.
Okay, Grandpa.
Who's our age, but whatever. Came down, brought us a postcard with his number on it and was like, oh, it's so great to meet you. Welcome to the neighborhood. Also, like, if there's a way you could turn the bass down on your theater system, like it's coming upstairs a little bit, could you turn it down? And we were like, oh, absolutely.
Sure.
We turned it down. It was, all good, in my opinion.
Okay.
So after we did 2 Gay Mats, I believe on Wednesday.
Okay.
It was an hour later. I was doing something else for Matt Palmer Music. One of my New Year's resolutions, by the way, is that I do something for Matt Palmer Music every month. So try to hold me to that.
Okay.
But as I'm finishing it up, I'm like, oh, I don't know if this went well. I don't know, whatever. But I wasn't even singing. I was like, just editing things, whatever.
Okay.
I get an email.
An email.
From Grandpa.
Okay, Grandpa.
Grandpa has written us an email saying like, hi. I don't know if there's a way to say this without sounding like a grouch, but we need to talk about the amount of noise coming from your apartments. We have been here for 3 years and we've never had a problem with another tenant. But we feel like there's always music going on after work hours and sometimes late. So, meaning I assume from 6 until 10 or 11 during the week.
Okay.
And it's becoming a bit of a problem for us.
Okay.
Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
I took note of this.
Okay.
I may have been up a lot of the night crafting a response email.
Okay.
That was essentially like, and the thing is, I believe that Grandma has a job that it has different hours than most people do. I believe she must go to bed a bit early, wake up a little early, things like that.
Okay,
which,
Grandma.
if you're living in an apartment, if that's your situation, one would buy earplugs or a white noise machine. There are options, but all I'm saying. So I wake up, I write back, I do whatever I can do. But that being said, I just was wondering why it was upsetting me so much over the course of the week.
Okay.
And it's like, is it because I want people to like me? I care if they like me. And I'm like, I don't think it's that. I feel like I'm a person that prides myself on like being, a good neighbor, a kind person, like someone who's just like interacting in the world in a way that's respectful.
Okay.
And like there were some lines in the initial email that I felt were not that.
Okay.
And so moving forward, we'll be recording the podcast here a little earlier. So when we do that, we don't bother the grandparents.
Okay, of course, the grandchildren need to, be aware of the grandparents' schedule.
And we've rearranged the speakers in here, so we're not even going to be using the home theater system as much. See those little Sonos speakers that are closer to the ear of the couch, and not like touching the ground, so maybe won't be vibrating. Doing what we can. For the grandparents.
Yes.
But Matt Steele, as someone who's lived with me.
Yes.
Wouldn't you say I keep pretty normal hours?
Very much so.
Thank you.
The only time like something would be irregular is if like we had to like film a 2 Gay Mats video like past 11 and we had to listen to a song for like 3 minutes.
I know.
And we're yapping away at 2 Gay Mats, but like we never got a single,
Not once.
Which is interesting because like, you are very respectful in terms of hours and everything.
Yes.
But your voice resonates.
I do. My voice carries. Here's why we're trying to keep it down.
Your voice carries much.
It does.
You're a natural singer.
I mean, as a vocalist, I think that's a good thing. I got to get to the back of the house.
Absolutely. You're there for the Apollo. You can hit the back.
I got to hit the back.
For the people who got the balcony seats.
Yes.
So your voice does resonate, but he mentioned specifically like speakers. You're not like I'm going to watch TV until 3 a.m.
Thank you.
girl.
And that's the thing is the lines of after work hours and sometimes late made me think, okay, are you getting upset with us about noise being made from our apartment before 10 p.m.?
Yeah, because that's
some would call it unreasonable. I have not gone to that length because I am being nice about this situation.
Yeah, and I actually have taken note in the 10 years that I lived with you. Matt Palmer really does not listen to music out loud.
Yes.
Past the hours of 10.
Yes.
Yes. I assume you earbud it.
I'm always in the earbud. I'm always, even when I wake up a little early and Jackson's still asleep, I will watch the TV with my headphones. I'm before I had of many people, am a headphone wearer. So this is all, I just feel like the confusion and the issue is based on scheduling more than anything. I think it is the idea that they believe between 6 and 10 to be quiet time.
That's not society. I'm sorry.
I mean,
sorry.
I didn't say it, Jackson, if you're listening.
That's not how society works. It's not. But you want to try to whatever you can to help. You want to do because you want to be respectful.
And that's what we wrote back. We had a whole email that I feel like is very clearly written by me at the beginning and Jackson at the end. Jackson threw in some exclamations, threw in some smiley faces.
Some hearts.
I was all periods. I was like, hello. Interesting. This came as a shock. He made me change shock to surprise, which I don't know the difference, but whatever.
There's very much a difference. I was like,
this was a shock to receive. And
shock is iconic.
It was a shock.
There's a big difference between shock and surprise.
I don't say in my heart, I really didn't feel like it's different, but I guess I'm hearing it's different.
It is, yes.
But my reaction was true. Shock. Mm-hmm. So, you know what? Moving forward, we're all going to evolve and make sure everyone's happy and healthy and everyone's as comfortable as possible.
Especially, the grandparents, they're more vulnerable and susceptible to, COVID out there.
I mean, if only the grandparents were grandparent age, then that would make a lot more sense.
Okay, yes.
And they're not. But that's what's happening. That is why Matt Steele is over here at 6 p.m.
Okay.
Hopefully between 6 and 7 is not.
Good thing we have the microphones close to us.
We do.
It catches
every syllable here. So we're going to see how it goes going forward. But outside of one thing that I feel like I'm going to try not to bring up until giving you moments, but I'll probably launch into it earlier.
Okay.
That was the big thing that happened to me this week.
All right. Well, I wish you the best in your family journey. Every family has their quibbles and everything. But,
it's very true.
Blood is thick. Blood is thicker than water.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Well,
and they are family.
This is going to come. All right. Should we dive into News for Idiots?
Let's dive into News for Idiots. Let's go.
Okay. Well, this is going to come up later.
Okay.
But Janet Jackson's documentary was released on Friday and Saturday. It was a 2-night event. So Friday, there was a 2-hour part of the documentary. And then Saturday, there was a 2-hour part of the documentary. I watched all 4 hours on Saturday because I literally sneezed 3 times. And I was like, oh, I have COVID. Better stay in bed.
It's not even I'm going to watch a video. No. Not even going to watch anything? You just laid in bed?
No, I mean, we have a TV in the bedroom. And so the 2 hours in the morning when I was like, I have COVID, I watched the first 2 hours. And then later in the evening when it became more clear that I did not have COVID. And I also had tested the day before and didn't have it. Whatever. I watched the second 2 hours. The point is I was in bed watching Janet Jackson for 4 hours in a row. And this will come up more. But one moment that I think we should talk about up top is that in the last hour of the documentary, Janet has filmed a selfie video that didn't match any of the rest of the documentary, in which she's basically like, honestly, here's what she says. Honestly, this whole thing was blown way out of proportion. And of course, it was an accident that should not have happened. But everyone is looking for someone to blame, and that's got to stop. Justin and I are very good friends, and we will always be very good friends. We spoke just a few days ago. He and I have moved on, and it's time for everyone else to do the same. I think that is such a lovely sentiment, a beautiful thing to say.
Yes.
My answer is no.
Okay.
No, we'll go back to it when we get back there.
Yeah.
Because, yes, we're going to talk about this more.
Okay.
I think it's really great that she has a forgiving heart.
Yes, of course.
I think it's a lovely thing to forgive and to move on. It seems like Britney was in the same boat. She dances to his music on Instagram, and her diatribes about him are nothing like her diatribes about Jamie Lynn, who she called scum this week. I don't know if we need to talk about it again because it's the same.
I saw that post, and I was like, okay.
I know, but her diatribes against Mr. Timberlake are nothing like that. It's very much respectful. We've moved on. We were kids. We broke up, etc. I'm still mad about both events.
Okay. It is okay to be mad. It is good that Janet Jackson has forgiven.
Yes.
And I guess, if I was not as personally affected by this whole Super Bowl debacle. I had no idea it was such a big deal until I started living with you.
Life-altering.
And so if Janet Jackson wants me to forgive Justin Timberlake, I guess I will forgive Justin Timberlake, but it is okay if it's going to take you a while to get there.
It will.
As
take
we
me
said
a while.
earlier, blood is thicker than water, and Janet is family as well. She is your
true.
mother. You have your grandparents. Janet, your mother.
This is quite the family tree.
The family tree.
I will say, not to give away anything, but the races don't make sense. But it is quite the family tree. And I love that Janet can forgive and move on. And, I hope one day before I'm in the ground, I will forgive.
I think you can.
I think I can.
I think one day you'll get there.
So another big thing that happened this week, I'm kind of hopping over. So if the stories aren't in the right order, I apologize. But did you see that Joni Mitchell and now Neil Young
Well, no, it was Neil Young and now Joni Mitchell.
I know, but whatever. Yes, you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
Both of them have removed their music from Spotify.
Yes.
I feel like a certain age bracket of people are very upset.
Yes.
And this is all in response to the misinformation that Joe Rogan spreads on his podcast about vaccinations, and he's very anti-vax and believes you can take horse pills or something to cure COVID. And
he offers a platform for people who believe that stuff.
Mm-hmm. And it's just, I felt like what made this worse was after Neil Young did initially, like the CEO of Spotify came out with a statement that was very much like, as much as like we may disagree with like what rappers say on songs, like we keep them on the platform and like we'll do the same for Joe Rogan. It's like, well, you don't have an exclusive deal with the musical artist on your platform. You are not like completely like funding this man, spreading the misinformation. You couldn't even put like, I don't know, some sort of warning at the beginning of his shows. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I feel like the fact that it's a Spotify exclusive, they're very much in business with this person, and the artists are dropping out. And I don't know if it's going to happen more and more, but they're going to have to do something.
I mean,
right?
I'm seeing these articles about how Spotify is losing like so much money in revenue.
Billions, yes.
So it's like, ugh.
I know, because everyone's been canceling their Spotify. I haven't yet, and I mean this podcast is on Spotify, but it's still like as things go on, and I mean if Mariah comes out and takes her music off, I'm going with her.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like there are certain artists I really need, or the music platform doesn't make any sense anymore. So it's just, I just wonder how it's all going to shake out, because I don't feel like we're at the end of this.
No, I mean, if it seems to be, the thing is like, hopefully like things get settled very quickly, and because they're losing a lot of money very quickly.
But like
this had a bigger effect on Spotify than I thought it would.
I just wonder what settled even means. Does that mean they just kick him off Spotify? Like Joe, I think you got to drop Joe Rogan. Yeah,
I don't know. Or even like if it's something like a disclaimer in the beginning or something like that, A
disclaimer would be lovely. I just am wondering what the end result is. So I guess stay tuned. I imagine if I've learned anything from Housewives, which again, we'll get to later, they've got to let him go at some point. Once he becomes more of a liability than he is bringing listeners and money into the platform, they're just going to have to drop him. There's like I don't think there's a way around it.
Yeah.
So, guess we'll all stay tuned and see how that all shakes out. And now we're up to the Matt Steele story of the week.
Okay.
So the Celebrity Big Brother season 3 cast has been revealed. Let's see who's on there. There's Real Housewives of Atlanta, former Real Housewives of Atlanta star Cynthia Bailey. There's Todrick Hall. There's Chris Kirkpatrick from NSYNC. Todd Bridges, Chris Kattan. Lamar Odom. Interesting. Teddy Mellencamp, which is truly, I cannot think of a worse housewife than Teddy. So that's something to look forward.
Worse, like how? Like how is she bad?
Paint dry. Like beyond boring, and without boring, like she runs basically a wellness thing, like a dieting food, I don't even know, like inspiration kind of thing, where you get a coach who talks to you over the phone and basically yells at you if you eat over 1,000 calories a day.
Okay.
So that's wrong.
Yeah.
Just so we're clear. And yeah, so she's a bore. Who else is there? Who are you most excited about? Carson Kressley.
Like Carson Kressley a lot. The thing is, the thing with this Big Brother, the Celebrity Big Brother cast is everyone wants Tiffany New York Pollard.
Right.
Everyone wants Tiffany New York Pollard. That is what everyone wants. She is not going to be on CBS. CBS is not going to have, like, it is
just because she's too like controversial,
and especially as the years continue to go on and network television becomes its own thing and has a very, very different demographic than will ever accept Tiffany New York Pollard. It's just becoming so separated, the audience for network television. I can't ever foresee Tiffany Pollard being on.
But this is still a reality TV show, and I feel like when you think of modern reality television, a lot of the nucleus of that is New York. I feel like there's, even if you have a different demo that you're catering to, every sort of dramatic reality show, people are taking from the New York playbook.
But see, like the people who were on the previous 2 seasons of Celebrity Big Brother were not people of that reality TV ilk. The VH1 reality.
No, maybe not era, VH1. You're right.
And so it is very disappointing and devastating. And the thing with this cast is a lot of people are like, oh, I don't know, like 3/4 of the people. Right. It's just like, I saw something very wise on Twitter. Oh, Big Brother fandom that said,
we love wisdom from Twitter,
from Big Brother Twitter especially.
Oh Lord.
I don't need to know who they are. I just need to care. So if these people provide a show, if they give us entertainment, then I am all for it. If they are there to play, I am there for it. From what I've seen in their pre-show interviews about who their favorite previous players were, it seems like none of these people except for Todrick have ever seen Big Brother. So I'm kind of like, oh, like Chris Kirkpatrick, I was excited that it was him because when it said a member of a boy band, like, they hinted at it. I was like, oh, Lance Bass, it'll be Lance Bass and everything. And when it was Chris, I was like, oh, this is different.
Yeah, what's he been up to?
And he like said his favorite players, and I was just like, oh no, Chris, no.
Are they all like people fans dislike essentially?
Yeah, well,
didn't he add the racist guy in? Ooh, mess.
And it was just like, oh, you definitely weren't watching that. And Todrick Hall, of course, listed like 10 names of just people who he's friends with.
Oh my
God.
God.
The thing is, Todrick Hall, he was like pushing to be on Celebrity Big Brother since Big Brother 23 ended in September. Oh, he immediately made friends with all of the cast and had them stay at his house for like a week plus.
Right, I think I remember you telling me that.
And so everyone was just like, he wants to be on Celebrity Big Brother and everything. And the thing with Todrick is, he knows what the fans want to see on the show.
That's true.
So he might be able to give it to us.
All right.
Now, the super fans of Big Brother on Celebrity Big Brother always are like the first to go.
Oh, really?
Like Jonathan Bennett was the first one to go Celebrity Big Brother 2. Shannon Elizabeth, who's a giant Big Brother fan, she was like the third to go. She was about to be the second, but Keisha Knight Pulliam's breast milk dried up or something. So she had to go early. So Todrick might be like an early boot, but if the cast provides entertainment and they're there to play the game, I'm all for it. We'll see what happens.
Why do the super fans go first? Is it because the other people in the house know that they're super fans and like, you must know more about this game than everyone else does? Let's get you out of here.
There's a little bit of that sentiment, but also like they kind of like play really hard out the gate, and the other people literally have no idea what they're doing. So like they're just like, oh, they're playing this game really hard. Let's get them out. So we'll see how Todrick does. The only like disappointing thing about the cast to me really is it follows the same formula as the other Celebrity Big Brother cast. Like there's the basketball player, the Real Housewives, the guy or girl from the 80s or 90s sitcom, which like is all fine and good. I like all these people, but
it's just like, we've done this.
The Olympic athlete. It's like,
we could definitely do something different.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, from different places. Yeah, I get that.
But you know, the UFC fighter, in this season has purple hair like the UFC fighter in the previous season.
Wow.
It's like, okay, come on.
Let's do something a little different. I feel like that's not too much to ask, right?
But whatever. Give us a show.
All right.
I'll be there Wednesday night.
Okay. I can't believe it premieres so soon. I don't know why. I imagine this would be like a few weeks out.
Nope.
Wow.
And it's over the 23rd of February. 20 days.
Did you see what Sean Penn said?
Yeah, I did.
So Sean Penn, lest we forget, who portrayed Harvey Milk.
Won an Oscar for portraying Harvey Milk.
Says that men have become quite feminized. He says, I don't think being a brute or having insensitivity or disrespect for women has anything to do with masculinity, or ever did. But I don't think that in order to be fair to women, we should become them. I think that men have, in my view, become quite feminized. I have these very strong women in my life who do not take masculinity as a sign of oppression towards them. Who said that? There are a lot of people I think, cowardly genes that lead people to surrendering their genes and putting on a skirt.
That's the weirdest part of the quote.
What are you talking about?
You think cowardly genes make you want to put on a skirt?
Right.
Maybe people just like the breeze. That doesn't seem cowardly to me. And they like the feeling of a twirl.
And it's also like, does that last sentence not completely negate what you said about like the powerful women? Is like, you're like, I think they're powerful and amazing, but like, oh, some men want to wear skirts.
I know. And it's just like, we shouldn't want to become them. It's
no.
Just like, okay. Nobody's perfect, and I knew Sean Penn is definitely not perfect, but I thought Sean Penn was a little more perfect than this. Like, come on, like
this is like 2002 stuff. Like this just sounds so dated. You are 20 years late with your takes, and also, what were we even talking to him about? Does he have a new movie out? Like, is he promoting something?
I want to say I read somewhere that he was like sitting next to his daughter during this interview, and his daughter was like,
oof,
like dead silent.
I bet she was.
Yeah, and I just think it's so interesting. It goes back to when the year of the Oscars where it was Milk was up and everything, and it was very much between Sean Penn and Mickey Rourke for the wrestler for Best Leading Actor, and Mickey Rourke was just like, oh well, Sean Penn. It's crazy that he's nominated for Milk because he's the most homophobic guy I know.
I remember that.
I know.
And everyone was like, oh, that's a weird thing to say, and it's like, well. I guess when you're right, you're right. Thanks, Mickey Rourke, for giving us that preview of what was to come.
And I don't doubt that Sean Penn is like okay with being gay and everything.
Is he?
I would hope so. Jesus God, but Sean, I hope that he learned a lesson here.
I mean,
this was rough. This is a very rough quote.
It's just so embarrassing. Like, how do you look at yourself in the mirror? How do you look at your daughter? And how do you look at everyone who cheered you on for Milk back in the day?
I know.
Give that Oscar back, bitch. Like, you don't deserve it. Give it back.
I mean, he's great in it.
Well, he can be great and homophobic elsewhere. Did you see that Mel C's coming out the memoir?
I did.
Sporty Spice.
I know. I got to pre-order it.
Well, excuse me. It's an autobiography. Is there a difference between a memoir and an autobiography? It feels the same to me.
I feel like memoir is just a fancier way of saying autobiography.
Well, Mariah loves a memoir.
Yes, Mariah is very memoir.
She is. She's the memoirs of an imperfect angel. I'm excited for that. Good for her. There was one other. Just wanting to let us all know. For anyone, I feel like some people, much like Matt Steele's Big Brother rants, don't talk about Housewives and don't care about them. But I must give everyone an update because, of course, another week means that there's more Real Housewives of Salt Lake City mess, like garbage mess. So there's a new housewife named Jenny. Her name is Jenny Nguyen, and she's been very fine this season, like doesn't jump off the page, but like inoffensive. But she's always had this big problem with this girl, Mary, who is the black cast member on the show.
Okay.
In fairness, Mary is possibly a cult leader and out of her mind.
Oh, I love that.
But
put her in the Big Brother house.
I mean, because she'll probably be off the show too, so she'll be available.
Big Brother 4, Celebrity Big Brother 4. Can't wait.
Excited for that. But she was always like reacting to Mary in such an outsized way versus she would react to the other women. Like, I feel like she only blew up on Mary throughout the entire season. And like people would be in her face screaming at her and she would be able to keep her demeanor. But if it was Mary, she would really explode. Comes out, someone finds her old Facebook post from 2020.
Oh no, not an old Facebook post from 2020.
And you know what that means. She's a thin blue line person. She is a, if you follow the police's orders, you won't get shot person. She's like retweeting just the most racist, hateful, anti-BLM memes you've ever seen in your entire life. She initially comes out and says, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Like, I was misinformed. I thought I was supporting police and now I know I was like being cruel and projecting hate." Then the next day is like, "But actually that was my social media manager who put that up." And it's like, on your personal Facebook post before you were a Real Housewife? Lie. And then it takes days and days and everyone is tweeting at Andy Cohen being like, fire this woman. Like, this is unacceptable. If you're going to fire Jackson Stassi from Vanderpump Rules and Kristen for being racist, like this woman's as racist, if not more so. It took them like 5 or 6 days and they finally did fire her, which was like, that's great. Love that she's been fired. Jenny jumps on an Instagram Live. Because she's finally able to tell her side of the story now that she's been fired from Bravo. Okay. She basically comes out as proudly Republican. And the live is, of course, not just her, but her and what? Her black friend from out of town.
Oh, no, not a black friend from out of town.
She flew him in basically just to sit next to her and be like, we're friends. Like, she never at any point said that she was for Black Lives Matter. She basically continued to blame it on the social media manager and kept being like, why? I just support police and I'm a proud Republican. I realize those memes were wrong, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, Jenny, you cannot be both insanely boring and also violently racist. Like, what have you brought to me? Like, I have nothing, like, I've gotten nothing from you. You miss you 0% now that you are gone. And it's like, I just don't know. Also, why do the Bravo people not do better background checks? Like, if a fan
This was 2020.
Exactly. Like, that was when she was cast. That's the year she was cast on the show.
Like, oh no, the old Facebook posts reemerged. I'm like, from 2011.
No.
From 2009.
2020.
Please.
And that's the thing. A part of Bravo's like statement was like, we're going to do a better job with casting. It's like, bitch, you better. Because this was so easy to find. If a fan can find it this easily, what is your excuse? And the same thing happened on The Bachelor. It's like, who does these jobs? And why are you so fucking terrible at it? Like, get it together. We don't want to see racists on our TV screen. Is that so much to ask? If you were racist on television.
If you were racist on television, that'd be nice.
It would be nice. A good dream for 2023.
And she could have like very easily like been. Well, I don't know exactly what the Facebook post said, but if she said, oh, I thought I was doing this, but really, like, I realize now. Then it could be like, okay, well, you're at least saying you learned. Who knows if it's true?
Right.
But at least you're saying you learned and everything. But just the fact that she added more to it and it just became such more of a mess. It's like,
I know. So Goodbye to you, to quote Michelle Branch in her great hit song. Goodbye to you. Is there anything else we need to tell the people, Matt Steele?
Not much, but just that we love them, and we'll be back in 2 seconds to take our 2-second break.
Yes, 2-second break coming up now. We'll be back with more 2 Gay Mats, the podcast.
You know what I just realized? That's
What?
a good thing.
Yes?
Since you have to be quiet in your apartment from now on.
That's not true.
The next Matt Palmer album should be nothing but just...
Darling, no. We will be belting at moments. Everyone get ready for it. Sorry, grandparents.
I want some air.
Sorry,
some air.
I've given air on songs.
All
and maybe
right.
there'll be some air, but you know I love a belt.
All right,
You know
all
I
right.
love a belt.
I guess it's exciting. The people will know there will be tone on the next Matt Palmer
Yes,
music album.
absolutely.
All right, so we are on to Email My Heart. This
Yes.
is the section of the podcast where we answer some questions that you guys might have. You can be a part of Email My Heart if you email us at 2gaymats@gmail.com,
Yes.
2 spelled TWO, or you can comment on this video if you are watching this podcast on YouTube.
Yes.
So we got 2 emails this week.
Great.
And one of them is about something that I figured we would talk about in News for Idiots, and the other thing is something that we are talking about in Giving Me Moments. So it's going to be
Absolutely.
an interesting Email My Heart
I'm
segment.
excited.
So this is emails from Danny. And Danny says, Hi, Mats. I hope you had a great week. English is not my first language. I'm from Chile. Yes, the country where my new millennial left-wing president tweeted supporting Taylor Swift.
Nice.
Iconic president. Great job, Chile. So sorry if this is not super well-written email. And it's great.
Beautifully written.
But 2 things happened this week that made me think, I need to know the 2 Gay Mats opinion about this.
I forgot about this.
I was listening to your podcast when the Taylor Damon drama happened. She doesn't write her own songs. What? She doesn't write her own songs? The audacity. I don't consider myself a Swiftie. I just started to appreciate Taylor Swift songs when the pandemic started, but I love Folklore, Evermore, Reputation, and some songs from Red, 1989, Lover, and Fearless. Danny, Speak Now should be in there. But
Leave Danny alone.
I think this drama was so dumb, so unnecessary. It's 2022. But hey, a Gen X white man talking with total confidence in bold, about something he doesn't know. Nothing new. Get it? Also tomorrow, January 27th, Charlie XCX will release her new song featuring Rina Sawayama. I don't know much about Charlie XCX's career, but Good Ones is a bop, and Rina, we all know, is such a queen.
Of course.
Cannot wait to listen to her second album, and your opinion about Beg For You, their collab, I think will be out at 10 a.m. over there, 3 p.m. over here. That's it. Hugs, stay safe, and thank you for being my company and making me laugh while I'm cooking or trying to work out. I hate working out, but listening to your podcast while I'm walking fast makes me focus on you and not the suffering. It's a great technique,
Hey.
Danny. I do it myself.
That's the way to do it.
P.S. I watched Mass because of Matt Steele and loved it. Iconic. And PS2, we actually celebrated when Gabriel, the new president, won last December. The other alternative was like Trump, fascist,
No.
homophobic, anti-women, anti-global warming. His family was literally related to Nazism. So yay.
Ugh.
Good for you, Danny. Good for you, Chile.
I hate that every election feels like vote for the one guy or like the end of your life person. Like the worst person on planet Earth is going against some other guy.
Sometimes the good guy wins.
That's true. Oh, all right.
Sometimes we get it.
We do. So yes, I had considered this for News for Idiots and truly just forgot it. But Damon Albarn, who I believe is the lead singer or a member of the band Blur, which was a rock band in the 90s, had done an interview and talked about younger artists and asked oh, what do you think about Taylor Swift's writing? And responded, she doesn't write her own songs. And then the interviewer corrected, which I was like, yes. And the interviewer's like, oh no, she clearly does.
Yes.
And he's like, no, she co-writes, and I know what co-writing means. And then went on to say, oh, but I love Billie Eilish, what she and Phineas do together is so amazing. And it's like, wait, why is it okay when Billie co-writes and not okay when Taylor co-writes? And to just come out of nowhere with this critique in 2022, when we've all seen Taylor Swift as a writer, you can see her writing only on Speak Now. There's no other person credited on that album in the writing category. Like, why are we still doing this? Why are we trying to discredit this woman who, even if I have some issues with her, is a songwriter? Like, period. What do you gain from this?
If you are a musician and by now you don't know the simple fact that Taylor Swift writes her own music, what are you doing in the industry?
It's
That's like
embarrassing.
me being like, oh, I'm running for the House of Representatives and I have no idea that Nancy Pelosi is the Speaker of the House. Like, this is just like something that literally everyone knows. That interviewer could have been my mom, and he could have been like, oh, she doesn't write her own music, and she would have been like, I think she does. Like, how do you not know? Like, how can you not acknowledge this at this point, whether you are a fan of hers or not?
That's the thing. You don't have to be a fan. But in the thing, so wait, we all know that Taylor has to respond.
Oh, yes, of course.
So Taylor responds on Twitter and says, I was such a big fan of yours until I saw this, which, like, were you, girl?
Iconic, though. You got to start it off with that.
I write all of my own songs. Your hot take is completely false and so damaging. You don't have to like my songs, but it's really fucked up to try and discredit my writing. Wow. And then he responds, I totally agree with you. Like, what are you fucking talking about? You just said that she didn't write her own songs. I had a conversation about songwriting and sadly it was reduced to clickbait. We saw the full quote. She corrected you and then you fought back saying she didn't write her own songs. She was a co-writer. I apologize unreservedly and unconditionally. The last thing I would want to do is discredit your songwriting. I hope you understand. What?
The thing that is so annoying when people are like, oh, what I said was completely like misquoted and taken out of context, when they don't explain what their actual quote was. When, like, if you're saying this happened a different way in real life, then say what happened.
Right.
Like, I don't understand why you can't back that up. But you know what? I hope he learned something. I don't know that. The thing is, like, and it seemed like he was so excited to just like trash Taylor Swift. It's like, if someone asked you about an artist's writing or whatever, and even if you don't have any opinion or even if you don't like it, just be like, oh yeah.
Like, what a talent.
What a talent. Like, we should have more people like so passionate about
Period.
writing.
It's like, you're allowed to not like whatever music you don't like, but just like to go publicly and trash someone who's in the same industry as you feels completely out of left field and wrong. And also, like, I feel like trashing Taylor Swift and like saying she doesn't write her own music is, again, so very late. It's like,
oh my God, yeah, it's not 2007 anymore.
So
people.
tired of this conversation. I thought we reached the end of this.
And you're just begging for a Taylor Swift response. Like, sir, do you not know what happens on social media?
And it's like, do you think he just wanted press? I don't know what the goal here or like what he was trying to get out of it, but it truly didn't happen. And
and the fact that he's like, oh, but Billie Eilish.
Right.
It's like she co-writes with her brother.
So
why are you trashing co-writers?
But she makes real music. She's real.
Because it's dark.
It's dark. All Taylor stuff is so happy.
Oh yeah, he said like it's like endlessly like upbeat and everything.
Right.
And it's like,
you've not heard the all too well 10-minute version, darling.
Yes, like literally the most recent #1 song
of hers that she wrote. Reminder.
Yes. That she wrote her
ass
with a capital
off
W.
Oh, a classic.
Yeah. Insane. But okay. So this question will lead us into giving me moments.
Yes.
It is from
will.
Susan. And she says, email my heart. Hello, Matt and Matt. I'm sitting here trying to stay warm and thinking of how great the Janet Jackson show was. I hope you saw it. And if you have, I am wondering your thoughts about it. I loved it and it brought back great memories. And I learned so much about things I didn't know through the years. Colden, NYS, New York State, Susan.
Oh, thank you for this question because this is, of course, my giving you moments. Janet Jackson is one of my favorite artists of all time. I feel like we all know this. If you've seen the old 2 Gay Mats videos, like Janet's right there because even though my whole thing was I loved that Mariah put out an album every year. So as a child with like, you know, a short attention span, it was exciting.
Yes.
But when Janet put out an album, it was a fucking event. Like I feel like I say this whenever Janet comes out, but there was never going to be a better 4-album run than Control, Rhythm Nation, Janet, Velvet Rope. Like,
I mean, that's incredible.
Unbelievable. And I feel like it took us such a long time post 2004 for her to really come back around and for people to be like, wait, this was completely fucked up how we all treated her. She is an absolute legend and she needs to be given her flowers. So the documentary was so wonderful in shining more of a light on her, reminding people of her brilliance. And I thought it was really great. I feel like Janet is definitely someone who is never going to be fully forthcoming. Like she's a private person just by nature and like kind of shy. So you're only going to get so deep. But she was like,
so deep.
So, go deep, darling. And she only gets to that point because she's private. But she's like, okay, what happened in this first relationship? Like he was addicted. And it was very interesting to me to hear about Renee, her relationship with her like creative partner between Rhythm Nation and they divorced right before All For You. So during much of this 4-album reign, he was there. And he in a lot of ways, when you first see them together, he like was filming everything. Like he has so much footage of it around that time. He was filming her every time they had a conversation, to the point where it was like kind of annoying for her. Like there were video of her like trying to have a nice moment with her mom, and him being behind the camera like, oh, Janet, give your mom one more kiss. Like, it's gonna look great. It's just for us, but it's gonna look great. Just one more. He's like trying to direct her life. And Janet's like, no, my mom doesn't want to be on camera. Like, it's too staged. Like, stop doing this.
Yeah, these are home videos.
It's home videos. But then it's like, how much did Janet or this documentary pay this man to get access to these videos? Because they were, as much as it was annoying that he was doing that, and it was like obnoxious, we did get to see Janet and her brother writing Scream in this documentary. And it was just like, holy shit. Just the two of you in that room writing this song that I remember watching the video premiere for live in 1995, and it like shaking my entire world. There was so much information about her relationships and also her relationship with her brother. I felt like personally it was a little bit too much Michael/Jackson 5 stuff, because by the end of the second hour, we were just getting into Rhythm Nation. And I'm like, wait, I need so much more about her artistry. But it was interesting, but it also was like, oh, you can see that like things were not all well and good between Janet and Michael when they were filming that video. Like the label had made it so Michael filmed at night and Janet filmed during the day. So it was like they were more like they were competing than she was supporting him. Oh. It was like the video was shot in segments, and it was like, well, who's going to do better? Who's going to do a better job? And like all this stuff. And then the whole reason she did the song was to support him. So it was just like their relationship drifted and drifted from that point until close to the end of Michael's life, I think.
That's so sad that it feels like it felt like the industry was trying to like pit them against each other. And it's like, can you not just be happy that you have like two of the most talented human beings on earth working together and are related? And
it's just, it's so beautiful to see like the kids at Rhythm Nation just being like, we want Janet. We like, you forget like she was the Beyonce of that time. Well, you forget. I don't forget. People forget. People that are not me forgot that. And I just love that we learned so much more about her. We learned how serious her relationship with Jermaine Dupri was. She was planning to have babies with this man. And he was like, dating Janet Jackson like made girls even more attracted to me. And you know what? I guess I was a man. So it's like, okay, so you cheat. Do you imagine being Jermaine Dupri, dating Janet Jackson, and then cheating? I can't.
I mean, it's the same thing. It's like Jay-Z cheating on Beyonce.
I know. It's like guys, have we all looked in the mirror lately?
It's like, sir,
you happened into the best thing that's ever going to happen to you. Let's not put that in jeopardy.
Like, I am a gay man.
Yes.
And if I was married to Janet Jackson, I would just be like, well, never having sex with a man again. Never. No, Janet, I'm all yours.
It's for Janet, darling. And like, I also love to see how, even though it was such a hard ending with Renee, like how happy she was on set of the All For You video. And like that whole era was so positive for her. And seeing all of the other artists like Missy Elliott and Lee Daniels and Mariah, obviously, just like supporting her. It's like, let's all remember her importance, and seeing her again. They showed clips of her being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It just was really exciting. And it seems like they hinted to Black Diamond really coming. There was a new song playing during the closing credits that sounded really good.
What is Black Diamond?
Black Diamond was the album that Made for Now was supposed to be on. And
Made for Now.
I remember. And she announced Black Diamond right before the pandemic, and then we heard no word.
Oh, no.
So I think it's really going to come out. I hope it really comes out. I'm so excited. I just love the renewed interest. It also, I still thought it was interesting, like I did in the trailer, that Justin did reach out and ask her if she wanted to be a part of his Super Bowl performance. I get why she turned it down. She's like, I don't want to drudge up old memories and all of this, but it was truly that line was the most I've liked Justin Timberlake in years. All right. It's good for you, because that's what you should have done. Yeah. That's what you should have done.
Yeah. So that's nice that he did that.
Even though it still feels like we've just scratched the surface, I feel like for a person wanting a Janet 101, this is a great introductory 4 hours. Okay. And I recommend the documentary. It was very well made. She's very open, and you also forget just like what a giant entertainment family the Jacksons were. They moved to Encino and were the first black family in Encino. And even though they were the Jackson 5 at this point, they had this huge compound. There were like around the city, it was a controversy that they were there because they were black. Ooh. And it's like, we all forget that this is within our parents' lifetimes that this was happening, that this was as segregated as the world was. And the fact that there were like petitions to get them out of Encino, it's just like, these are the Jacksons. It's like,
and they're these wildly like, famous,
talented people. It's like, imagine if the Obamas moved on your street and there was a petition to get them out. It's just like completely unfathomable. Yeah. But anyways, I recommend everyone watch it. It truly is lovely. And I've been revisiting her music even more so. It's just like Rhythm Nation and Velvet Rope are my two favorites, but all four of those, even All For You, I didn't give enough credit for growing up because I was no Velvet Rope, but then it's like nothing's Velvet Rope. It's just listen to Janet, watch the doc. You will not be disappointed.
And Let's Go Black Diamond.
Yes, Let's Go Black. I can't wait for that.
Well, I'm excited for you. It seems like the Janet documentary, it even cured your COVID.
It did.
You had COVID when you started it, and then when it was over, you were like, I don't have it.
I guess I didn't sneeze or don't have any congestion or feel fine. So
that's the power of Janet.
Hey, she's a powerful lady. Matt Steele.
Yes.
What has been giving you moments?
Okay, so this isn't really giving me moments because it hasn't started yet.
Okay.
And it's also, I'm kind of worried about it because I'm just like, oh no, I'm totally fucked.
Why?
Because of it. So Arissa Cox, sorry to go back to Big Brother, guys. Arissa Cox.
Who's Arissa Cox?
She's the host of Big Brother Canada.
Oh, okay.
Which apparently is like way better than Big Brother US.
Wow.
And someone really, really wonderful. I was talking about it like probably like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, that I had never seen Big Brother Canada. And this person sent me a link to all the different seasons of Big Brother Canada.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, like the link like stopped working.
Oh, no.
And so I didn't really get to watch all the seasons of Big Brother Canada. And so I was always like, all the real fans know all the seasons of Big Brother Canada.
Not you.
Well, Arissa Cox posted this week. It's been a long time coming for our international fans.
No.
Big Brother Canada seasons 1, 2, 3, 5, and 7.
Is this Paramount Plus?
Will be streaming on Paramount Plus.
I knew it.
February 16th.
I knew it was because seasons were missing, and that's what they do with the real world. And it's so fucked up. Like, give us all the seasons, but sorry, don't let me.
Well, and so I'm just like, I will never leave my couch. I will never leave the couch that Connor gave me. Like I will be on, February 16th. I should have my new couch by then.
Nice.
Ooh, I'm going to wear that couch in.
I can't wait.
I will be in front of my TV for months, for days, for centuries. Because I'm also still watching Survivor.
I was going to say.
And Celebrity Big Brother. And this Lord knows I'll still be watching Big Brother Canada when the summer Big Brother's happening.
You're going to be very busy.
I know, but I'm so excited to finally watch Big Brother Canada. I assume because what a lot of platforms do is they release like a couple seasons of shows.
Yeah.
And then so you'll like hope that other seasons are released later so you'll keep your subscription
going. Okay.
So I'm hoping by the time I get to, there've been 9 seasons of Big Brother Canada. So I'm hoping by the time I'm supposed to get to 4 will be on Paramount Plus because I will not watch out of order. I will not.
Interesting.
Oh, no. If there's not 4 by the time I'm supposed to get to 4, I will stop at 3 and wait patiently.
But I love that this isn't even like a linear television show. It's not like you're watching This Is Us. Like it's just a game.
No, I have to watch in order. I'm watching all of Survivor. I have to watch it in order.
Well, I mean, I hate to be the bearer, but the Real World seasons have been missing for ever since Paramount Plus has been here.
Okay, well, maybe by the time I finish 3, that link that I'm sorry I forget your name, who sent the links before. The listener sent, maybe that link will work again.
Okay.
And season 4 will work on that link. Because I have to watch in order because each season influences the next and I have to see that.
They're just reality competition shows, right?
No, there are so many things that influence the next season.
I mean, I trust that you're right. I don't get it.
Well, get it. You'll learn to get it. You can sit and watch with me. I'll have my new couch. You're invited over.
I mean, it seems like I'll be coming over when we have a late night 2-game match anyway. So.
Exactly. Yes.
So I'll be there. So maybe we'll just, sneak in some Big Brother Canada while I'm there.
All right, great. Yeah. Our neighbors don't, my neighbors don't complain.
They don't. I feel like I barely hear any neighbors at that place. Yeah. At our old place?
Oh, yeah. Our Walsworth.
Thick. I loved that.
Yes, it was great.
Loved that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you left me.
Okay. Well, you're doing fine. You and, Daniel are doing great. We love the new duo. The new dynamic duo.
The new dynamic duo?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to make him watch Big Brother with me. He watched Survivor, a couple episodes of Survivor with me yesterday, and he was just like, this is intense. This is really intense. And he's like, this is blurry because it was from 2003.
Oh, yeah. It's a different time.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Is there anything else we need to tell the people before we say goodbye?
I don't think so.
Well, we love you very much, and we'll be back next week with more 2Game Mats, the podcast.
Bye, guys. Have a great week.
Yes.